big, beautiful wall. The deficit is getting bigger and bigger, and unless we have somebody very smart and very tough that understands it, and our president does not understand it, but I understand it better than anybody, we're going to have nothing but trouble.
Okay, that clip was from when the monthly trade deficit was about there. Now, it's there. As far as China goes, the annual trade deficit just hit a record high of $375 billion. So, who's going to fix it now?
Somebody very smart and very tough that understands it.
Okay, let's understand it then. The first thing to understand is that sweating on that number is a mistake, because trade deficits can be measured in a million different ways. For example, in 2015, the trade deficit with Mexico was $63 billion, according to America. But according to Mexico, it was double that. The trade deficit with China, according to America, $388 billion. According to China, $120 billion less. The trade deficit with Canada, according to America, $21 billion. According to Canada, 4 times greater. And it just goes on and on and on. So it's hard to know what the real numbers even are. But let's say you do work them out. Well, there's nothing wrong with a trade deficit anyway. You might think that the trade deficit is because people are buying too many foreign cars or TVs or something, but only 27% of the trade deficit is made up of consumer goods and 8% is made up of cars, whereas 59% is made up of inputs for other businesses. In fact, 70% of Mexican exports to America are inputs for further production. So, imports create jobs. And you never know where those trading relationships might end up. Remember those cars from before? Well, America bought so many German cars that German car manufacturers decided to invest $17 billion into the US economy. And today, the biggest car export in America is BMW, with about $11 billion worth of exports. Finally, Trump might as well get used to trade deficits, because they are not going away. You see, a trade deficit is created when savings are less than investment. That money for investment needs to come from somewhere. So if it can't come from America's savings, it comes from overseas, increasing the trade deficit. And you know what depletes a nation's savings? Massive budget blowouts produced by massive tax cuts. Hey, you know what increases investment? Massive tax cuts for businesses. So, if the trade deficit wasn't big enough before, those tax cuts are about to make it bigger. I don't know, did I explain that well enough?
But I understand it better than anybody.
Great!